Thank you. Thank you for clicking on the video. Today's walk-in is Mslonda from
Hello.
Queenstock. Hi, Mslonda.
Hi, everybody.
And as always, we'll let her tell about the show to begin with.
All right. So, Queens Talk TV is an international online TV network that streams through Roku, the Apple Store, the Google Play Store, as well as my website. I designed this network for upcoming independent film directors, content creators, artists that, have they have the talent, but it's kind of hard to get their content out there. So
Mm-hmm.
that is what this network is designed for. I have some shows, that I'm going to be producing myself. I'm actually in the process of producing a show right now, which is called Plus Size Baddies. This is going to be a TV show for BBW ladies who I want to give them a platform to give them the chance to shine. And I want to be able to show through this show that you don't have to feel like you have to over sexualize yourself or demean yourself to get your name out there or even to just get into the industry.
Oh, that's awesome. How do you, let's go to the beginning. How did you got into all this? How did you start it? We're doing
So,
a, mm-hmm.
so first I started with the podcast, and I started my podcast, Sip and Talk with Mslonda, in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, I have just, like, the media world has just became a passion for me.
Mm-hmm.
And struggling with, just trying to grow and engage, and you try to collaborate with people. I like to call it the numbers game. I don't like the numbers game. What I mean by that is, if you're like a small fry, you just get no attention, no one wants to collaborate with you, you have to really just get up there before they'll pay you any attention. Well, my platform that I'm creating through Queens Talk TV is totally different. It doesn't matter to me if you have a large following. If you have the talent and you're willing to put the work in and work as a collective, then that's what this platform is for. It's for you.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what missing right now the most for that beginners, that guidance for the beginners, exactly what you're doing. So, how do you find the guests or the people for the show?
For the TV show or for my Sip and
Well,
Talk?
let me know which show, which different ones you have as well for the viewers as well. Like, what are the different ones that you have?
So, Sip and Talk with Mslonda, that is my podcast. And on my podcast, I interview entrepreneurs, authors, artists. I like to help, give promotion to people who have businesses. And I find my guests in a lot of the Facebook groups. I myself have a Facebook group with over 1,000 people in there. So that's pretty much how I find my guests. And then I also don't just do interviews on my show. I like to do panel discussions, but I also like to interview people who, have a story to tell.
Mm-hmm. And the TV, what's
Yes.
the what's the TV for? Like that. This is something actually new for me to know as well. A lot of people now do the TV as well beside the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, tell me and the viewers more about those TV. Is it a channel, or how do people get on it?
So when you say get on it, you mean to watch or to become like if they
To
want me to?
first to watch.
Okay, so basically you can go into the Google Play Store, the Apple Store, or Roku, stream it into your streaming store, and you can download Queens Talk TV 1. It's Queens Talk TV 1, and it's no cost to download. Or you can watch on the website at www.queenstalktv.org.
Mm-hmm. And then it's gonna be on your TV like every other TV channel.
Yes.
Okay. It's good for the people who are watching right now in 2024. People in 2025 and after that all gonna know that by themselves right away.
Yeah.
you know. But So that one is the one that you're building right now to have more different varieties of shows and everything. That's what you're saying?
Yes. So if you're an independent content creator, film person, if you create short films, TV shows, I have 100 channels so far. I have categorized 43 categories because I try to meet everybody's needs. So, we're looking for content. We want to help you get your content out there. It does have a price because, I mean, of course, it costs to run it. So you have to put the fee on it, but we're definitely willing to work with people. I myself I'm going to be having some shows of my own. As I mentioned, I'm working on a show now called Plus Size Baddies. Right now we're auditioning and we'll start filming in April. So we're probably going to drop either in the fall or the winter.
What kind of show is that? Is that like a talk show or is it a show
It's
where
a
people
reality
follow
show.
with the camera?
It's a TV reality show. So basically it's going to be, the ladies are going to be living in an Airbnb for a week together, and it's going to be challenges and elimination. So there's going to be a lot of different challenges that the ladies have to come together to do. They have to work together as a team. They have to strategize, and we'll be breaking them up in teams and things like that. It's more of, I'm trying to create something where women can come together and bond and create a sisterhood. So like even right now, we have the ladies kind of mingling with each other and getting to know each other now before they even go into the house, creating that bonding moment.
That sounds really interesting.
Thank you.
When you said you're gonna launch it, like,
So we're going to start filming this April coming up, and then we'll probably launch it in the fall.
okay.
Yeah.
Do you have to come back when it starts coming up so we can talk about it more? So
Okay.
I'm worried. I really want to watch that because it sounds interesting,
Thank you.
Yeah. So you're pretty much the way I understand is more about empowering women.
Yes.
So that's your goal as well.
I'm
Tell
big on empowering women. Yes.
Let's talk about that one because that's always I always see it a problem where people, women especially, they try to be against each other instead of pushing each other up and helping each other to do better.
Yes. So that is the difference that we're trying to make, and we're hoping to make it through this show. Even so, even though there's going to be a lot of women in the house, we all know that you can't have a bunch of women in the house and there's not going to be any drama, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the example that we want to show is that yes, these women are probably going to have drama, but what are the solutions? How are we going to mediate that, and what is going to be the end solution? It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have to remain catty. You have your moment, but okay, now let's work through it. That's what we
Mm-hmm.
want to show the viewers.
Yeah, and actually, like not just the show, but you teaching that if you teaching it in the show, people, the ladies who's gonna and a woman who's gonna watch it, they're gonna learn to do it in their own life as well.
Yeah.
So that's probably like one of the goals as well,
Yeah.
because it has to be. Back in the days, it was always women were trying to. I don't even know why they were trying to make each other look smaller, and now it's more common that we're trying to lift each other up. When did you see that change?
Yes. So like even now with the ladies, we're doing challenges with them to get, to have them where they have to, work together. We steady keep pushing the message that nobody is no bigger than anybody here. Everybody is putting their fair share in. So it's not like this person is doing more, this person is doing less. Everybody's doing what they can to help.
Have you had it? How the idea came to you? Did you had it as some personal experience before that, or it just was your creative idea?
It's my creative idea, but I also got it from watching other TV shows because I myself I'm not plus size, but when I watch a lot of the shows that do have like a plus size woman on it versus a lot of skinny women, it seems like that plus size woman has to work harder and to prove herself to be accepted. And I don't like it, because it should just be, we're all women, we all go through some of the same things, and we're all here together. Like, you shouldn't have to put yourself in a box to make yourself feel like, to be accepted, you have to work harder than somebody else because of a body shape, a look, hair color, or any of that.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I think everybody has to do like, and that's the thing, not harder, but all everybody. And the other one, I see it this way as well. That those other people, they have to work harder as well. You know,
Well, they have to work
it should
hard,
not
but
be easier for them. Yeah,
mhm,
the way I see is that it should not be easier for them than to the plus size. So both of them have to race together.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the way.
Mhm.
So, and did you had a casting?
Yes, I am still in the process of doing castings now. So the way I'm doing the castings is, they send in their headshot and they vote in a video, and that's how we're doing it. And we're going to be doing that. We're going to be accepting submissions all the way up until March.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
I've received a lot of submissions, and we have a lot of ladies that is really interested, because they feel like this is something different. You know what I mean? Like, nobody, it's giving them a platform and giving them the chance to say, hey, I can do these things too. I can, I'm beautiful. You know what I mean? I can
Mhm.
stand out. I can shine. So yeah.
Yeah. What do you have in mind? I don't want you to say all those some of the challenges
Yeah,
already
I can't.
because
So, but
it's like
I will
I'm
say
like I
this.
want to know the challenges, but you can't say that right now because they're gonna like, okay, we already know what to do.
Yeah.
So,
I can say that they're strategizing challenges, and it will have the ladies working together, and not only that, they're going to be fun. They're going to be fun challenges, so they're going to have a lot of fun on the show. My overall goal at the end of the show is, I want to see ladies hugging and dropping tears when they get ready to leave the show, because they're all from different states. So they're all going to go back their separate ways, but hopefully they are going to still keep in touch and keep that bond going.
hmm so is it easy to produce something like I? As soon as I said it, that is it easy to produce something? So it's like it's even like crazy to ask if it's easy because obviously it's not.
It's not. There are a lot of ups and downs in producing a show. Bringing people together, getting the engagement. Even once you get the engagement, keeping the engagement, and then just working with your team. And then you may have other people on the cast where there's going to be issues, and you got to make sure that everybody on your team is being professional and keeping that professionalism. So yeah, there's a lot of hiccups along the way. I would never say it's easy. Trust me, it's not easy.
Well, we're looking forward for that. So let's go back to the Queen's talk.
Okay.
So did you do it solo before, or you started doing with guests
Everything.
right away?
No, everything that I started solo.
How so? You just got a topic and you talked about the topic on a show?
Oh, are you talking about Sip and Talk? So Queens Talk TV is the
Yeah.
TV network. Sip and Talk with Mslonda is a podcast.
Oh, okay. Let's go back for the viewer as well. The Sip and Talk is
Yes.
the podcast with you.
Yes.
And the Queen's Talk is the
TV network. Yes.
TV network. Okay,
Yes.
we got it.
Okay.
So it's just so let's talk about Sip and Talk.
So Sip and Talk, no, I didn't start off by myself. I started off with co-hosts. I've had a lot of co-hosts in the past. Like right now, I don't have a co-host right now. And I haven't really been doing a whole lot of lives lately. I haven't had any interviews, but I have been doing some pre-recorded shows, because I'm trying to make sure that I keep that name out there. But working on producing the show can kind of be a little time consuming.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I do still drop pre-recorded shows, but I do love doing interviews. I do love talking to people and having them come on and share their stories.
Yeah, because I watched a little bit on a YouTube channel, so having everybody together and talking about things. What are your own personal favorite topics?
My personal favorite topics are relationship topics, real life topics. I love having those topics because real life topics, you just don't understand like how many people can relate to certain things. Like, so that's one thing that I learned when I started a podcast is like all of those things that I had in my mind that I wanted to talk about and share with other people. I found that there was like a lot of other people who could relate.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite one?
Favorite show that I've done?
No, favorite topic. Like what comes up with the woman then you talk, because you've talked with so many women. What comes up as like most common thing that other women want to talk about?
DV,
What is it?
DV,
Um,
domestic abuse.
yeah,
Yeah,
I see it as well.
yeah,
Are they open to that? I didn't watch any of those episodes, but it's a hard thing to answer. I see a lot of groups right now where it's women's groups on Facebook, and you can see daily there's at least 3, 4 posts about it, and that's just one little group in one little town. So all over the world, it's still amazing that is still it's just big issue.
yeah. I like having the women to be able to come on and share their stories because women that go through domestic abuse, a lot of times they hide it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't tell anybody. They don't share, with anybody because of judgment. So being able to give a lady that, safe space to feel like somebody is here and is willing to listen, I'm glad to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. And find there's no solutions yet, the way I see it as well, because I talk with a lot of the women in those situations and have my own experiences, but there's not a lot of law that helps with that yet.
Mhm.
So that's why it's still such a big problem. So in the future, I'm hoping there's going to be different laws to
Yeah.
more for the prevention than to healing afterwards. Oh, you picture.
Is that
I can hear you a little bit, but your picture froze.
am I still frozen?
No, now you're back.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So yeah, so I was saying that the laws have to change so we can prevent it instead of like what we have to do now, heal afterwards. So
Yeah.
more for prevention and more for I'm telling everybody to teach their daughters and sons the red flags.
Yeah.
So even what you start to say,
I was going to say that I still believe in the red flags of it always starts off verbally. Then it starts with like a little shove. Then
mm-hmm,
it goes to a slap. And then it just, from there, it's like, it just gets worse.
mm-hmm,
It doesn't get better. It just gets
mm-hmm.
worse.
Yeah, and I think when you notice that red flag, don't try that. That's what I'm saying and teaching. When you notice that red flag, don't stay and think it's gonna change.
Don't fall for
Don't.
the apologies. I'm sorry. I was just
Mhm,
going through some things. I'm stressed. It's going to get better. I promise I won't do it again. You just made me feel this way. All of that is just gaslighting.
mhm. And excuses and everything. As soon, like I would say, as soon as you see those red flags, that's the green flag for you to leave. And you
Yes.
have to leave because the longer you stay, the harder it is to leave.
Yes.
Because there's I know already that like they try to get people in with the feelings already, so it's already hard to leave because you already had the feelings. which are manipulated feelings usually,
Yes.
because in the beginning they play this perfect personality to get you in, and then you already have those feelings, so that's why it's hard to leave.
Yeah. And we get caught up in feeling like we can change them, but we can't.
Hmm. Or their lives that they will change, or excuses why they are like that. So
Exactly.
there's, for any of those, for that somebody's watching, you probably clicked it because this having a message for you. And if you see those red flags, just make yourself strong enough to leave.
Yes.
Yeah. So, because otherwise you're gonna end up in Mslonda's show talking about what happened.
I'll be glad to have you there.
Yeah, or like that's what I'm saying. Like, or if somebody who went out through something like that, they can contact you and come to the show and talk about
Yes.
it. Hmm.
My last interview actually was with a young lady um, who was going through that. And she actually, to save herself, had to unalive that abuser. And thank God that, the court saw it as self-defense and she's not locked up and away from her kids. But that was the last interview that I did.
Wow, that's craziness.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just so. I don't have words for that. You
Mhm.
know, it's sad that it comes to that.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do. The one thing is, all it's hard to do the conversations with like that, the interviews for you, because you have to go through the emotions as well
Hmm.
when you talk with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what do you have? So you now focused on the TV show. That's the
Yes.
main thing.
Right now, yes. The TV show, and also I am working on getting funding for my nonprofit because I also have a nonprofit which is called Ladies Unions Incorporated, and that nonprofit is geared towards single women with children and teen girls.
Hmm. You look at this, like so much, such a beautiful world. Like in reality, such a beautiful world, but so many problems created by
Yeah,
just like evil. And I think also because in the past it was more common and there was no way to talk about it at all.
yeah,
And we're now with all the media and everything, even with your show, we're overcoming it because we bring it in the daylight. Before it was behind, and still is probably more than 60% or 80% still behind the closed doors and being shamed of, but it's becoming more and more in the light.
yeah. And I think also too that stigma of when you were being raised, it was like whatever happens in this home, it stays in the home. And I think a lot of people are really beginning to come out of that because those family, you know
Yeah, I know.
rules or whatever. Yeah. So a lot of people are beginning to come out of those, old ways.
Mm-hmm. Then we don't talk about it, and it stays in the family. You don't air your dirty laundry. Those
Yeah.
are all such a
Yeah.
false beliefs, and we had to bring it out and tell the ladies that those that is not true. You, if there's abuse going on in the house, you have to come up, get help, and talk with people about it. It's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Right.
You just have to go out and get help. And we're gonna start closing down in a say a little bit here as well. And actually, that made me think of that the ladies who are going through this, they should go on your YouTube and look up some videos, and it helps when you hear other people talking about it.
Yeah, it does.
Hmm. And this way. So tell the viewers how they can contact you and what else, because for the viewers, all the links are in description as well. So we're looking forward right now. What Miss Slanda is doing is She has interviews in her Sip and Talk
Yep, Sip and Talk
on
with
YouTube.
Mslonda. Yes,
But she's also in the process of doing a TV reality show of Queen's Talk. So I'm looking forward for that one.
yes,
So go in the descriptions and click on the links and see how you can be part of what Miss Londa is doing.
definitely.
Mm-hmm. Any words that you want to tell to the ladies? Because I'm thinking probably the way it is, somebody clicks and it's meant to be for them. So
Mhm.
probably it's somebody who's going through something like this. So what would be your message for the ladies who are either trying to support other ladies or going through that domestic violence situation or both?
That there is people out here that are willing to listen and help. Me being one myself. Never be afraid to get help. Let's get rid of those old rituals about, you have to keep quiet. Nobody doesn't want to judge you. Everybody's, pretty much has gone through it, or similar or other things. So just if you can get out of it and if you can find help, I say do so.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much. I think we got people. Is there anything else you want to promote right now, or did we got all the things?
You guys can go and download Queens Talk TV 1 in the Google Play Store, the Apple Store, or on your any Roku device. It's no charge to download. We have some great content up there now, and we will be coming with more. And if you have any content ideas or you would like any distribution services, go to www.queenstalktv.org.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And also, I ask all my guests the last question that I ask: what makes you happy? What makes you happy, Miss Londa? Because not that what other people think happiness is or what general view of happiness is, but you personally, you.
What makes me happy is being able to set out and do the things that I'm passionate about, and being able to just create content that I know other people will like, being able to just accomplish my goals.
Mm-hmm. I like that answer too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. And I hope viewers go in the description and click all those links and download the channel for yourself.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Miss Londa.
You're welcome.